They leave the special battle system to go over to Himmelsdorf, for example, tonight, where they play one round, and from the one round, or how they decide sides based off of one round, is based off of either fastest attack time or most damage done on attack. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it'll take a while to draw us out. Like last season, we had several last season.
I absolutely agree. You saw a lot of the top teams. See, for example, who drew 6, 7, 8 times, and it made it really tough to. I mean, they were exciting matches, nonetheless, but it was tough to get
Prizes.
the prizes for the players. So this makes it a little bit more even for all of the people who are coming through and wanting to play Silver League, and it makes it a little bit better for people who are arguing that Clan Wars might be a better prize pool than that of 754.
Yep.
So tonight we'll be seeing Hui against GooglyBoppers on Steps is the map.
Their new name is
it's
formerly known as.
Yes, it is formerly known as GooglyBoppers, but they have said that it's okay to use GooglyBoppers. They were just trying to mess us up for casting.
Killing us.
Yeah, they're trying to kill us here. What do you think that we're going to see out of this map?
I don't know.
Well, I think that we're going to see a fairly even fight here. I think that Steps is a map that whoever rotates better defensively, it could determine who's going to win this map. Inversely, if the offensive team does not do a good job of making that defensive team have to flex, it's just going to be an offensive team, pushing into guns sighted towards them.
I guess you'd say reactionary map. Lots of flexing.
Correct.
Move around the map.
So I think that it's going to be a really even match here, and I'm excited to see what these two teams could do for us. I'm going to
maybe we'll learn something.
Absolutely, maybe we'll learn something from these guys. Yeah, so I think that's about it for all of the changes that I've seen. For those of you who are new to WGLNA, this is a 754 attack defense format, and what that means is there are 7 tanks, 7 players on a team, up to 54 tier points, which means you could have 5 tier 8 tanks and 2 tier 7 tanks, or 6 tier 8 tanks and 1 tier 6 tank, which allows teams to have a little bit of flexibility in their lineups and allows them to kind of counter each other and move around the map a little bit more nicely. It makes everybody more even, as opposed to the 742 where you had 2 T1s that were constantly roaming around the map. It makes it so that everybody really can commit to that fight. The attack defense format change from, I think it was Season 4 was the old game style, right? And then it moved over for Season 5. So the attack defense now makes it so that teams aren't as campy and I'm going to sit in a corner and do nothing all game. So it makes it a much more action-packed experience when a team has to make a push, when a team has to make a play. And you get some exciting, awesome gameplay where tanks may get ammo racked or lit on fire that could really turn the tides of a battle. And I think that it really gives some great action for people to watch.
Not a lot of sitting around.
There is not a lot of sitting around. With that in mind, we do have 3.5 minutes here waiting in the queue for this special battle to be ready and the teams to be ready to play as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to run a little bit of an ad here, and we'll see you guys in 90 seconds. And
Looks
they
like
really,
37s.
it really seems like they should get some sort of pressure here, and it looks like that's what that 37 is moving to do here.
He's waiting for them.
We have GooglyBoppers here just patiently waiting somebody to get onto that cap. They are perfectly content letting letting Hui just sit there and run out clock on themselves.
Nope, here we go.
looks like
Looks
GooglyBoppers is trying to make their way over. Or no, I'm sorry. That's
They're
Hui.
crossing.
Looks like Hui
Yeah,
is
Hui.
crossing onto rails, and looks like they have scouted out the fact that they have a lot of tanks over here in these 8-line depressions, and they wanna come in and take all this all this damage here. They want to kill these people in here, and it looks like they're just coming for a straight engage. They don't want cap here. They have a T-54 lightweight sitting all the way down on the 5 line, which is an interesting strategy. He's kind of caught out. If GooglyBoppers were to scout him out right now, and that he's alone, he's dead there. He's in a very dangerous position. However, he is a T-54 lightweight, and he's just as fast as everybody else in there, and he has that great depression where they're not really going to be able to get shots on him. Meantime, his team is making an aggressive push up the rail side here, and it looks like they're going to be crossing over soon. But scary for them is that GooglyBoppers is completely set up for this. And one shot goes into Zion, and they're just so set up for this, and it's going to be a rough push in. They have 4 tanks straight off the bat right here looking for shots on them, and they're not looking. They're not even coming in. They're just hesitating at this point. They don't know how to break this at this point. They really need their T-54 lightweight from the 5 line to break in here. They need to spread south, it seems like. That's the best option I think they have here. But they're just going to straight engage here. Trading damage. Zombie Food taking a lot of hit points here. Zombie Food is being focused down. Great focus fire here from Hui. Lots of damage going into Hui here. Akarita does survive here. Survives, gets Wanja. Tugzilla is getting focused now, folks. He gets killed, and this is looking pretty dominant for Hui. Their focus fire was on point there.
Got 1 shot
left. He's in trouble here, and it looks like this could be their only.
5 on 3.
Yeah, they don't have much choice here. They're just going to. It's just going to be a mop up. 1 hit to Tesla, a full HP Bulldog, which I'm not sure if they even know that he's back there. They do. They are firing on him.
Yep. He made
T-37 gets
like
1 shot in there. Cest 95.
Is it DC?
It looks like it might be a DC, or he's just kind of given up here. And that's going to do it for the GooglyBoppers there. That's going to be 1-0 for Hui.
Yep. Hui takes the round. That Bulldog didn't get any shots though, so it must have been a DC.
That may have been the case there, and that's a big DC. That's not a tank that you really want going out of the fight there.
Nope.
We're going to have a minute here in between battles, and there's a lot to talk about there. It looked like Hui was going to run out the clock on themselves there. They had it was a lot of time that they wasted there, but they did properly scout out. They did not take a lot of damage getting in there. They just kind of slowly moved up and tightened the stranglehold onto GooglyBoppers there. And
they waited for their
GooglyBopper just kind of, like I said, even though Hui didn't really force a rotate there, GooglyBoppers never really anticipated what was happening. They just kind of turtled up and waited for them to come in, which almost worked for them there, but their focus fire failed on them.
Focus fire and the Bulldog DC and hurt them.
That Bulldog DCing, that's 1,100 hit points that they could have had in that fight. If he had 10 shots, it's 1,100 hit points that he could have put out. That's a lot of tanks that were low hit points there that he could have finished, and that's just really kind of unfortunate. That's not a way that you want to start a season, let alone play any match. You don't want that to happen, but you don't want to start a season on that note, which that kind of stinks. But it was still a really well-fought battle by GooglyBoppers, if that was the case, that they did have a DC tank. They took a lot of they put out a lot of damage to, I want to call them timed out, but they're Hui now, into Hui on their way in there.
Don't forget to ready back up.
I am ready to back up here. So we're going to be swapping sides here. We're going to see Hui on defense, and we're going to see GooglyBoppers on attack here.
Let's see.
And it's looking like we're going to be having the same comp here for GooglyBoppers. Oh, no. They swapped over to a T-21.
They dropped the Bulldogs.
And they got an extra T-54 lightweight. And they did.
They brought 32 instead for defense.
Hui bought a 32 with them. So that's a pretty big thing to have with you here on steps. It kind of slows you down, but that's your piece that you rotate around. That's um your
Pivot.
your pivot point exactly. Looks like GooglyBoppers here is sending their T21 over towards the one cap here for some spots here, while the T54s here are moving out towards the two cap or to set up shots across the field over here, which is also very possible. It looks like we have Hui here.
Cap.
Hui here is covering for this two cap, and it's looking like it might be a two cap move. We might have an early engage here. If GooglyBopper is looking for that 37, he could have taken a lot of damage there, but they were not. Looks like they are finally getting set up for shots here. We have Zombie Food pushing up, getting real aggressive towards this two cap on the 7-line side of those hills where he is safe. He's just doing a spot run there, and it doesn't look like he's getting much. As Hui is now rotating out of their two base defense. I don't know if they didn't spot any of the T-54s, if that was intentional from GooglyBoppers, that they kind of kept their T-54s down and all of their light tanks way down there so that they were not seen, and have their T-21 kind of bait a cap here. It looks like that's might be what they're playing for.
That's what it looks like.
No, it looks like the T-21 is just looking to take some ground here. He's moving up to the 7 line, and they're kind of hemming Hui in right now. I don't think Hui is aware of what's happening to them right now. Looks like a couple T-54s are moving from the south here up the north of the 5 line, and we're gonna get a nice overhead view of these tanks here coming into the 5 line. And unbeknownst to Hui here, they've been completely locked into these 7, 8, 9 line areas here. This map is completely GooglyBoppers if they want it. Let's see what's happening now. Do we have any lights coming in here? We got a lot of pings coming out. Maybe some ideas happening.
Looks like they may be going for north push.
It looks like they are shifting out of that 2 cap push. They don't really want to engage on that, and it looks like
Not with that 32 there.
It looks like Hui is recognizing that. Let's turn around and watch this move over towards the north here, as I'm still trying to figure out the controls for this flight cam here.
It is a little different. I will say that.
Let's speed it up a little bit so I can get into this area a little bit more quickly.
You can go faster.
So it looks like, yeah, you can, just with the number pads there. So, not the number pad, the actual numbers themselves. I'm going to slow it back down now. Give you a little bit of an idea of this concave that's going on here. It does not look like... there's 350 left on the clock, and a move has to get made here. It's just been this who could spot who type of battle. There's been no sorts of damage coming out. It seems like they're playing in such a fashion that they're just trying to feel each other out at this point.
They've got 3.5 minutes on the clock.
We do have cap pressure coming on now. Yes, we do. And that is on the 1 cap. So we're going to see some T-54 lightweights, possibly a 37, start to wrap towards the south here. But GooglyBoppers, or we might see that. We might not see that as well. They could come north. If they do go south here, though, that could be a problem for them, because they do have GooglyBoppers completely set up for a south push here on the T-54 lightweights. It looks like the 37 was just scouting that out, and now it looks like they want to make a move towards the north here, which I think I agree with this plan here. They can completely overwhelm that north side.
Mm-hmm. He's all by himself.
And if there's going to be a spot where they get spotted, it's going to be coming up here just in a second. We're going to see some shots come out from GooglyBoppers. I'm sure they're anticipating this, but it's not going to be enough to save that 1 tank that's back there.
32 take a hit.
The 32 did take a hit, so that's something that you want happening in the terms of GooglyBoppers, I feel, though. That's not something that they're going to really... You want your 32 taking damage in this instance. If you trade your 32 taking damage for 5 full health 54 lightweights, while Tesla gets lit on fire here. Tesla is just burning to the ground. Cap pressure has come off, and it's just not looking good. GooglyBoppers, though, are doing a second push onto the 32 here. They're trying to salvage some sort of a tank for a tank here. And then Felipe gets lit on fire. That's 2 fires in the exact same round. 32 goes down. We are even 1-1 with 2 tier 8s down. And it looks like Hui is not happy about their 32. HP. Yeah, it looks like Hui has HP looks about even here. They do have a 37 up that's out of the picture right now. He's going to be getting some flank shots onto these tier 8s. And the focus fire, again, is just coming in droves. Zombie Food is 1 hit. Matt Knight is 2 hit. Tiago goes down. Oh, no, Tiago's still up. Matt Knight's down, but Tiago's 1 hit. There are 3 1-hit tanks on the battlefield right now. Buwanja's 1 hit. Buwanja goes down. This is looking pretty dire right now for GooglyBoppers.
3 and 4. 4 on 2.
Tuxzilla is now taking damage. Akrisha gets hit.
Tuxzilla is a 2-shot.
Tankzilla's 1 hit
1%.
now. He is looking really. This is looking pretty dire, but it's looking like it's going to be
just a
2-0 here for Hui.
That focus fire.
Their focus fire has been on point. It really has been. And look at that graveyard of tanks hanging out down there. That is pretty crazy. Fantastic round for Hui. That's 2-0. That's an attack and a defense win.
Now we go back to the other side.
And now we go towards the defense side here for Hui. If they pick up a win here, this is a 3-0 for them. And this puts them closer to the 5 points that they need to get for the win here. I think that GooglyBoppers has it in them, though, to get a couple of rounds here, make this close for us.
That was pretty close.
It was a close round. I'd like to see a little bit more proactive movement from both the teams. However, I would also like to see some good focus fire coming out of GooglyBoppers. I think that's the main difference between these two teams at this point is it's not the strategies and it's not the taking of the maps. They're pretty good with those two things. They're pretty good about maintaining control and keeping eyes on everything. It seems like just their focus fire is on its point right now for Hui, and that's what's they're gonna have to counter out of that the GooglyBoppers there. I don't know if they might be a little bit too spread or too close together. They're getting surrounded. Maybe that might be one of the options. They might have to explore spreading out and making more crossfires for the tanks that are coming in, rather than just setting up in a specific location.
20 seconds.
What do you think that we are going to see out of GooglyBoppers here? Do we think that we're going to get a aggressive play out of them? They are on defense here, though, but they need to do something. They need to
aggressive on defense.
They can. They need to
This is a map where it doesn't really matter which side you're on.
I think they need to have. It feels like to me if I were calling in this instance, I would say let's get aggressive. Let's force them out of a comfort zone. They've been very what's the word? Not predictable. They've been very
cautious.
I guess cautious. I can't think of the word right now, but they've been doing a very good job of following like a set way to move up for their tanks for Hui. They're doing a very good job of taking the map without taking a lot of damage. And that's something that GooglyBoppers here is going to have to expose. Whoa. All right.
Exact lineups on each side.
Yeah, so we have a mirror matchup here, as Clutch and Rookhill would say.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like we're having a very similar startup for GooglyBoppers here, except this time we're seeing a 37 hit a spot bush towards the north, and I think that's big. That's important for them. They need to have that map control. They need to be aware of what's happening. But in the same respect, they're going to have this tank out of the fight for a pretty good portion of it if Hui chooses to try to get a line of fire here and push in. It looks like
teams might be trying to bait him.
Yeah, it looks like they. I don't think
They're
it's
trying
going to be a bait. They were trying to see if they were going to get a little too aggressive there and punish on that, but no
Mhm.
too much aggression here for Googly Boppers, and it seems like we still have an even slate here coming into
Yep.
the coming out of the first minute here.
Looks like a lot of blind fire. It's about
At
on
this
it.
point, now we're moving into the middle portion of the round here, where it's time for the defense to come out of their start, and they look like they're kind of trying to take some map control here away on this two-cap side. While it looks like
Huey's moving up.
Hui has given up on their getting
Hope
pushed
shots go well.
into, and they're taking the two-cap push here. Lots of T-54 lightweights coming in. If Luck doesn't get out of there, he's going to be in trouble. But rather than going in towards the cap, it looks like Hui is sticking on the 7-line sides of things, which could work out for them here. Matt Knight takes two
Matt
big
Knight
hits here. That's really big for Googly Boppers. I think that's the first time that they've truly traded in a positive fashion all night. So it's a good start. Matt Knight does the correct thing here. These are truly tested teams. They have been in Gold League before. They know what they're doing. He backs down. He lets the high hit point tanks take some of the hit points here, take some of the damage from them. Looks like they're bailing off of this 2-cap, though. With 4.5 minutes left, they either have to, if they're going to make a decision, it has to be soon. But
It may have been a
it
fake.
looks like that either was a fake or they're deciding to
Zombie Food
spread
takes
this
a hit.
7-line.
It's even again.
Where
Zombie
is
Food
Zombie
with 2
Food?
hits.
Zombie Food is on the north here.
Yes. C5.
Oh, Zombie Food is caught out here, and if they were to engage on this, they could potentially get a free kill on Zombie Food here, as well as a 37. We have a 37 way up in the sniper hill over there. That's for no, that's not a 37. There's a 37 contesting the sniper hill, which has a 54 lightweight in it for Googly Boppers there.
There goes the engage.
Luck is there's an engage here, but Hui is taking a lot of damage here. That tank up in the sniper hill is doing a pretty good job for them here. Luck stays alive. Another one hit tank here in Tiago, and focus fire is shifted over now to Zion. Tesla's taking some damage. Tuxzilla is taking a good amount of damage.
Tuxzilla's a
Tuxzilla
two
could
shot.
go down right now, but no, they take out Zion, and he's going to survive for at least another clip here. He's going to have another shot here, and now Rafidos goes down. Jam-packed with action this game. Matt Knight goes down, and so does 7 Tesla, and Acretia is one hit.
He goes
And
down.
all that's left is the T-37,
Lone
and this is
37.
looking pretty dire here for Hui. However,
It is 2-1 now.
this makes it 2-1. And
They've still
and
got
that's
good
what
defense.
needed to happen for Googly Boppers. They
Pressure's
traded
still
they spotted it out early. They punished the push, and I think that's pretty much exactly what we were saying needed to happen.
Mm-hmm. Pressure's still on Googly though.
The
'Cause
pressure,
the-
however, is still on Googly, but it's 2-1, and
'cause
Googly is going
they've
into an
gotta win
attack
this
here.
attack. They've got to win this attack.
They do not.
Not
They
this
have to
one,
win an attack, so they're
but
going
this
to
one or the
have
next one.
right. They're going to have 2 more attacks and a defense here for Googly Boppers, and 2 more defenses and attack for Hui. Hui obviously has the advantage here, coming in 2-1 to a defense that is probable or possible, because most times the defense has very narrowly. Most times I think it's about 55% win ratio for the defense on this map.
Depending on the map.
Very narrowly. If it's played correctly, it should be a round win for the defense. I feel it is possible for attack to win on this map, though, which is why it's such a great map. I think that it is certainly possible. We've seen both teams win on attack now, I believe. Correct? Was that their attack round?
Who's attack round?
No, it was a defense round.
No,
I'm sorry.
that was the fifth round for
So-
Googly.
They took a 2-1 here, and we're looking for an attack win from Google. Either this attack round has to be a win for them, or the next attack that they have has to be a win for them. Because they're kind of getting into an area where it's getting late into this round, and if they don't start picking up important rounds like an attack, it can come back to bite them here.
Got 5 seconds.
And it
Mirror
looks
matchup
like we have
again.
another mirror matchup here. And it seems like these teams are just going to say to each other, "Hey, I think we can win this if we just straight up brawl here. We're not going to try to do anything fancy. We're going to scout it out and try to take a fight that is going to be beneficial to us. But I think that we're going to be able to beat these guys head on without any sort of heaviness to their lineup or any sort of mediums in their lineups."
T54s are becoming pretty mainstream.
Yeah. So it looks like we have a completely different attack setup here from GooglyBoppers. Something more similar to what Hui is running, except that 37 is not coming with the main force here in the T54 lightweights. Similar
Looks like
setup
he's
here for Hui. Looks like they're moving towards the 2-cap here to scout out whatever may happen.
They can catch that 37.
They can catch that 37. However, it kind of is a double-edged sword. They don't know what's behind it. They don't know if they want to push into that. If they get some early damage out on that 37, I think that would be great for them. Looks like we have GooglyBoppers setting up for a rail take.
Looks like
And they have,
cross.
the majority of their team here have crossed rails. Everything except for one T54 lightweight has crossed rails. And it looks like they're trying to do exactly what I said to do at the beginning of this round here. It looks like they're trying to catch tanks out. And I don't know that Hui is set up for this properly. They look incredibly spread out. I don't know that they're going to have supporting shots from their current locations. It looks like their 37 is going to get caught in the middle of a move here. And here comes the main force from GooglyBoppers here. Sovereign Zool takes a one hit from I'm not sure who actually put that shot out there, leaving him at an even 1,000 HP. But that's not a lot coming. That's not a lot of damage coming out. However, we're just going to see Hui here kind of ball up into this one little depression, and I don't know how that's going to work out for them. They're pushing in. This is going to be a huge brawl here. Matt Knight is
there goes
one hit. Candyman is already gone. This is looking pretty dire here for Hui.
Sovereign's down. Looks like Zion may go down next.
The 37s are battling it out. Let's give the 37s some credit here. Looking like pretty even here. They're both one hit to each other. Who's getting that first shot off? And that's going to be viral. And this is just looking pretty good here for GooglyBoppers. It's an even 3 tanks to 3 tanks. Actually, I take that back now. It's 2 tanks to 2 tanks, and there's a lot more hit points here for Hui. And Hui just did an awesome job of surviving during that fight. They're doing a really good job of sharing hit points. Tiago even was with 4 HP, he was smart enough. He had the mindset to back down there and not take that damage there. Great heads-up play from him.
3-1.
That's going to be 3-1 there for the GooglyBopper. No, I'm sorry, for Hui.
Hui. 37 to 924 damage. The other one did 789. That's
yeah. We actually haven't been looking through a lot of this stuff. Let's go back and look at some of these here over this next minute. We have a lot of damage coming out of the 37s, but most of that damage was to each other. But we have Tiago here with 1,900 damage. He's doing top damage for his team. And Zombie Food doing top damage with 22,000 damage.
Yep.
So that's a lot of damage coming in there from Zombie Food and Tiago both. It was a very close battle there, and that was exciting to me. That was a really intense fight. There was a lot of action. And again, it just comes down to focus fire. I'm feeling confident if I'm Hui right now. I'm going into these fights thinking that we're going to win these. Our focus fire is better, our damage sharing is better, and that's just how it seems to be playing out. Every time they get into these big team brawls or multiple tank brawls, there hasn't really been very many fights where it's just like a 3-on-2. They haven't been spaced out enough to really get those overmatches. It's just been straight up 100% focus fire, team communication, and they look scary right now. They look very, very good.
Looks like you don't want to brawl them.
special battle should be popping, or should be starting
One-
here in just a second.
0 seconds.
Yeah, I had that timer there.
Almost mirror matchup.
Almost a mirror
T21.
matchup. Viral is bringing the T21 rather than the 37 on
Has better
defense
view
here.
range,
I
DPM.
think it
It's a little
has.
slower.
I think it has only slightly better view range or slightly worse.
It's 5.
It's not much.
5 meters better.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
its
It's
speed
5
is
meters.
10
better.
kilometers less.
Right.
So it's a little slower, but
It's a little slower. I think it has a little higher DPM there, so it's a pretty good tank to use.
Sniper.
Looking like a very similar setup here from GooglyBoppers. And you know what? I'm going to zoom across the map here, and I'm just going to give some love over here to
Way.
Hui. They haven't gotten much here.
Okay, I'll go watch Googly.
So it's looking like a pretty strong push here over from Hui over towards this north side on the one line.
They've got the
Looking
T21
like-
set up to watch it.
They do have GooglyBoppers does have something to watch this, and they should spot it out. Looks like a either mistake fire here from Felipe going into a rock, or he was trying to see if he got lit. But I don't think either of those two things would have happened for them with how these teams are set up. I like this split here from Hui. They're just testing the waters at this point. They're gonna check rails here with 2 of their 54 lightweights, and it doesn't look like any damage is being exchanged just yet.
I'm not sure they've got anybody lit yet.
Yeah, I think that this is just a really passive play on both parts here. And if I'm Hui, I want to get a little bit more aggressive here personally. I think that
I mean, they can
they're
the rounds
they
to
have the
play
rounds.
with.
They could kind of at this point you just want to demoralize maybe. Maybe that's not the case. But Matt Knight is getting a little bit more aggressive here. That's scary sending out a T-54 lightweight like that.
Ooh, he takes a hit.
He takes one hit over from something that was definitely not spotted until he shot at
Maybe
least.
zombie food.
I think that was zombie food, but he was out of draw for meat here. And it looks like Hui here is just kind of stagnant. They've taken a little bit of damage, and they're just waiting to see what's going to happen here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but they got to start something here.
5 minutes.
Maybe they're waiting
Matt
for
Knight's
that
trying to get out.
coveted 5
Ooh, he
minutes.
takes another hit.
Matt Knight does take another hit here, and this is looking pretty bad for him. Yet he continues to aggress up to this next hold down location. His teammates do have pretty good support on him if they were to push, but I think that GooglyBoppers is not going to attempt a push of that caliber here. And we have 54 lightweights in the north here starting to move up. Just one, actually, while the other sits back on rails looking for shots. We have a 54 lightweight. We have Hui here taking the entire from 1 to the 5 line. They're claiming it as their own, including the south here. We have Zion putting out some blind fire, it would appear, on some of... It looks like it was going towards Luck, maybe? He might be trying to get lit or something along those lines. I'm really... I'd like to see maybe that 37 start to move up here. I think it's kind of beyond that time where he's going to be pushed over there. Until they get some sort of cap pressure, I don't know that there's a reason for him to sit back there.
Blind fire going back out to Zion.
Zion is taking some blind fire there, but that's a really tough location to hit a 54 in. He's got a pretty good hold down there. It is doable, though. I think something's going to have to happen here really quickly for Hui. They're just kind of stagnant at this point.
Got, less than 3.5. Looks like they're trying to see if Matt Knight can light anything. Ooh, Viral finally gets lit. Looks like he may go down.
Yes, he does. That camo rating, though, seemed pretty... I don't think it's higher than the 37, though. So
There
maybe he
goes.
would have, in this particular instance, been better off with the 37. However...
No,
He's certainly done his damage there in spotting.
Yep. He did his
Matt
mission.
Knight has certainly taken quite a bit of damage because of that spot that he got his team. And GooglyBoppers are sitting kind of pretty right now. There's been 0 cap pressure. 37 looks like he's starting to move up the 5 line, or toward the 5 line at least.
230. We need
Well,
to
Matt
engage or
Knight
something
is
soon.
moving down the 5 line. It looks like Matt Knight and company are setting up for a cap pressure here,
There's
taking
Cap.
control of that 5 line, and Rapidus does get on cap here in that T-54 lightweight, full hit points. And they still have Matt Knight sitting in the front of this battle here. Some blind fire coming into Rapidus. And I think that at this point, if you're Hui, you got to kind of, I would think that you'd want to move up at this point. You're going to
Looks
see
like there's gonna be
Tuxzilla
Tux.
start to go across here, or at least try to get a light here. But I'm not sure that he can get a light. Oh, I guess
Ooh.
he can. He gets a reset on him. A little bit of a track.
I'm not sure if he was lit.
He did not take any
Nope,
damage
does-
there, though.
Doesn't seem like he was lit.
It does not look like, based off he's not bailing on cap. Oh, maybe he was
he's
lit.
now.
Takes one hit, but you could live with that while getting some cap pressure. But you want them to have to push into your tanks there. You want them to have to take some damage. And it doesn't look like Wei have really succeeded in getting any sort of damage out onto GooglyBoppers here. And it's getting to that point where they have to have 2 or 3 people on the cap to continue to cap at this point. It takes
He
2
may,
minutes.
Escape one.
It takes 2 minutes to cap, and I think it's a little bit early to escape one. But maybe they have one T-54 farther south here.
He looks like he's waiting for it.
He's waiting to see if they're going to get engaged upon. If not, he's going to run.
Looks like he's going to engage him.
They do have a minute left here. If one were to escape, they can no longer cap for Hui. This is looking pretty intense right now. They're going for a straight
Looks like
engage,
a-
and I think that this just took maybe a little bit too long. However, if they do stick around in GooglyBoppers, this could be bad. We got one hit tank for GooglyBoppers and two hits here for Hui.
Doing some
Now
nice,
one hit. They're doing a really good job of focus firing, but I don't know that they could
And
really
trade.
keep. I don't know if they could really
30
keep
seconds.
tabs on all of these tanks or do enough DPM to get all these tanks dead. Tuxzilla
Go,
has
go,
to
go.
die here. He's gonna get out if
Yeah, he's gonna
they don't get him. And there's 23 seconds left, and I just don't know that these T-54
They're
lightweights
just
have the
running away.
DPM. They just don't have that. That Tuxzilla is in 5 line now, and there's just pretty much
They're
no
moving
hope to
south.
get a shot onto him.
Not
They
every
just
one of them.
spread
They're spreading like Tesla's holding
like
them
butter.
off. Yep.
And it's gonna end a 4-4 with people, and it's
4-3.
gonna be 4-3 now here for Hui, and GooglyBoppers are gonna move on to the attack.
It's a 4. Still 4. No, it's 3. 3-2. Is that correct?
It
3-1?
should be you should be able to see on the scoreboard there. I have to minimize because of
Okay.
stream stuff.
Let
so.
me see what it is. 2-3.
All right, so it is 3-2 for Hui here,
And Hui is on the defensive.
and they are in defense.
So all they got to do is win it. Pressure zone to Googly.
There's
Have 1
absolutely
minute.
pressure on Googly here. However, they're only 1 round from evening it up. Very doable. They have to win 1 attack
It's very
still,
doable.
1 defense still, and they could come away with this map.
They can win this attack. They'll put the pressure back on to
Correct.
be a draw.
It could be a draw. We could be seeing Himmelsdorf here. This is definitely in the realm of possibilities. Both
I
teams.
would love to see Himmels.
I would love to see Himmelsdorf between these two teams. Completely different styled map.
It is. Still kind of brawly, but less lights. Very rarely do you see a light.
Yeah.
Drop to Himmels.
You're not
Mostly
gonna.
heavies.
It's gonna be a completely different setup
And I wonder
for
if they're
that.
prepared for it.
Yeah, it's very possible that they don't. They didn't. If it's, I'm not sure about the Silver League format here, but if it's a different time map every single night, they don't have to practice every map every week. It's not like Gold League where you could be playing any map at any time. It's really going to be
Artie.
return of the 32 and an Artie here, and is that on
Picked the right
attack?
time. That is on attack.
That is an attacking M44.
T-32's worst enemy.
That is a perfectly timed. I guess you could really call it a counter
They're
pick.
taking a risk.
But
Yeah.
they had really no clue that 32 was going to be there, and that M44 could be trouble for him.
He could be. It's going to be up to 44 to break him. Because it will lose that eyes.
So I'd expect a little bit more of a stagnant attack here from GooglyBoppers, because they do have that that
They're already-
M44.
But you never know.
They could be using it strictly, basically as a diversion. They could say, "Oh yeah, we don't have a brawling tank, so we're just gonna kind of sit back."
All he's got to do is land one good hit.
He does only have to land one good hit, and that 32 is just dead meat to a 34 or to a 44 if it's just sitting there doing little
Even the
peeks.
54s have no armor, so an HE shell will just pretty much.
It will pen it. Yep, it will absolutely pen it. So it looks like where they Hui
Just
here are
feeling it
setting up. Hui are still gonna do that exact startup that both teams actually have been doing, minus the 37
waiting.
being over in the C5 area. But we do have a pretty good amount of
Arties.
tanks, yeah, sitting in the 7-8 line area for Hui. While
Seating.
it seems like GooglyBoppers is while they should be passive, I'd like to see them aggressively spot a little bit more. I don't know that
for the
they've
arty.
seen. I don't know if they've seen any of the tanks. They have to allow their arty to work. If he doesn't see anything,
It's really hard to hit without.
right, you can't hit
Which,
things if you don't have spots. But
Zombie
there's
should have,
as we say that zombie food looks like he should have spotted. At
He
least
definitely
he should have
spotted
spotted a couple of them there, at least 4, I would say.
Yep, there's the rest of them.
This is where that overlay would help, and a shot out onto the
Oop.
32, and it just misses.
Just
It
missed.
barely misses. Got a really awesome view of that here on this webcam, or regular cam. It's not a webcam. And I'm going to kind of focus on this 32 here and see
Looks
if
like
we can
Zombie
get
may
some
be
shots into
tracked.
there. Zombie is
Zombie
tracked,
takes
but
a
he repairs and takes only one hit out of that. But
Just
in
barely
the
missed.
amount of lights that they got from that, I think that's worth that 250 damage. But they have to keep this up.
Oh, Viral takes a hit.
Viral does take a hit. So we have 2 tier 8
Or-
tanks that have taken a hit, and it
Arty
looks
Mystic
like Way here are just saying, you know what, it's not worth potentially getting half our hit
Yep,
points
they're just
in
leaving
these
the-
lights. We're gonna back away from here. We don't want to get lit, and we're just gonna let this 32 here kind of fend for himself. If they want to take him, that's fine. We'll counter push
They'll
right in and
punish.
take him.
Yep.
Right. Another shot comes
can.
into that 32, but it's just barely missing. So these are
Very
some
hard to
really,
make those
really
shots on those
close
hills.
shots. Yeah, that hill makes it a really tough shot. But if that shot comes in, that's a
Zombie
a
takes
key
2
to.
hits.
Yeah, he takes 2 hits from the
Looks like
37
it's
there.
from 37.
Yeah, it's from the 37 with the 2 100 hit point hits there. And that might have been an
Definitely.
autoloader from that 37. It seemed like it was
was
a
pretty
pretty
quick.
quick shot there. So that 37 might have backed down and started clipping there.
Clipped
So
up.
that is ready for an engage here. While
It's like they're sending
not
some
timed out.
north.
While GooglyBoppers is just trying to take some map control away with, which I completely agree with. Maybe it should have happened a little bit sooner even, because they have to allow
3.5.
that arty some time to work here. And it looks like
3.5
Hui has somehow recognized this. I don't know if a 54 down there had gotten lit, but that 37 is just running away at this point.
Well, he's changed into the next hill.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit more defensively here for his teammates.
He doesn't know he's coming.
Yeah, that was just one of those things where it was just
Oh,
perfectly
he does
timed.
now.
He gets lit there.
Getting
And
trapped.
he could be in trouble. He's going to have 2 T-54 lightweights barreling down on him here. Now it's a question of how far these 54s want to push into that 37, because if they do push too far, they run the risk of
Looks like they're going.
getting focused down here from all of their
He's
tanks.
a one shot now.
He was one shot, and Tesla's shot just swings by him there. And Tesla looks like he's going to get another shot before he gets off around that hill. Does he get it? No.
Looks like Way maybe ready to
T-37 does kind of back down here, and they've traded hit points really well here for Hui. Just a little bit of damage onto that 37, and also onto BR Felipe.
engage. I think
But
Hardy just finally landed a spot on that 33.
he might have. That might have been what did that
He's
damage
tracked.
there. He might have switched over to HE there. It didn't look like Heat.
Nope. Did some damage and tracked him.
Yeah, which is what you need from your Artie. If he's not landing those shots, if those shots aren't connecting. No, maybe he is. That might have been the Artie right there. That was Heat from the Artie that tracks him. That 32 is tracked out there. And Artie goes down here. So this is pretty... They have to engage right now, GooglyBoppers. They have to come and take something. And I think if you're them, you contemplate just swinging around this 32. You take that one hit from him and you just kind of come in. He's such a
There's
big...
a lot more hits behind him, though.
Yeah, he takes...
He's got a lot of friends.
He does, but he's a lot of hit points. But he does go down. They do take the 32 and the 37, who was one hit. So they even up the tides a little bit here. But a minute and 34 seconds here, with a lot of high hit point tanks here for Hui, it's making it kind of tough for them. They have to take this engage right now. They have to put some kind of pressure onto them, because if they don't have the time. Matt Knight's taking a lot of damage here. Matt Knight is standing focused. Matt Knight is backing out. He goes down.
Luck goes down.
But Luck gets traded out there, and Akrita here is taking a bunch of damage now. Tiago is getting focused as well. Akrita's one hit.
Dude is a one shot.
Tiago is one hit. This is a 3-on-3 now, and these hit points are... It's going to be a 3-on-2 here in just a moment. You have two off on their own fighting, and you're okay with losing that one tank there if you have to, but he's not even losing that fight. Tesla is gonna win that fight, and that's gonna do it. That's gonna give the round to GooglyBoppers, making it 3-3 with a big attack win. That was something that they absolutely needed there. They needed to pick up that win, and it's much easier to pick up an attack. Yep, it's much easier to pick up that attack win when you're not riding onto that last battle there.
Yep, that already shot Heat. Those last two shots.
Yeah. It was
hits, 0 damage.
That was really well played from GooglyBoppers, despite the fact that they're already can be hit or miss sometimes, and with its RNG, it makes it sometimes a little tough to make it so that you land those shots. Right, it makes it tough to land those shots sometimes, and it's kind of saying you're rolling the dice and saying we could land that one huge 700 damage hit. Or we could hit that, nothing and just get taken out, and base a lot of time off of that. But GooglyBoppers did an excellent job of going and retaking the rest of the map there. They were able to kind of
HP sharing.
They did a really good job with HP sharing, and they were. I don't know if Hui was necessarily. I don't know if Hui was necessarily prepared for the amount of tanks that they kind of moved towards the north there.
They put everyone there.
I mean, that 37 made the perfect play of bailing out of there when he did, but if he maybe sat in slightly a different location, he wouldn't have been one hit there in that fight, and he might have been able to play a little bit more aggressively, maybe take some hit points away from them, maybe take the focus away from some of their 54s. That 34, you never underestimate the power of a tier 6. That tier 6 can put out just as much damage as a tier 8, because you're saying, oh, it's a tier 6, he's only doing 100 damage to me a shot, instead of a tier 8 that's doing 230, so I'm going to focus the tier 8 down.
Matt and I did 342, and the tier 6 did 217 that last match. So
let's actually... Oh, I didn't click it in time. I've been forgetting to do that. I apologize for that, viewers. I got to remember to bring up those scores afterwards. Maybe we'll do a little bit of something afterwards, but we'll look through.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll crown a rival MVP here.
Maybe. We have almost a mirror matchup again.
We do, except with the substitution of that 21 here on the side of GooglyBoppers for the 37 on.
Yep, they do like that 21.
They do like it. It seems to have done decently for them.
Yep, as a passive scout.
Yes, it has. Seeing completely different starting locations here. One team going towards the 2 cap, one team going towards the 1 cap. We see Matt Knight going down the middle road, which is major for Hui here. I think that they're going to get a lot of information out of Midnight. It is risky, but in the same respect, he's in a huge ravine. It's going to be really tough for anybody to get any sort of shots onto him from here, let alone a spot.
Zombie
And
cleared the whole south.
he provides a lot of utility, but you are going to see that tier 6 come in towards the south and just start to take away ground. This is the play that I like to see out of GooglyBoppers here. I don't think he will have line of sight on him unless he goes up that 5 line. I'm going to follow this 37 or 21 here rather. Does he go up the 5 line here? If he goes up the 5 line here, he has a huge line of tanks coming in here, and I don't know that Hui necessarily see this coming, but they're doing the exact same thing on the opposite side. They're ready to engage on that north part there, and nobody's going to be there.
This could be interesting.
I think that we
interesting.
might see some 2-cap pressure here out of Hui. They're going to be able to take out that 54 if he continues to move over there.
Oh,
Let's shoot over that way. Let's shoot over to where that action is.
He's got to get out of there.
Matt Knight is coming in. Mac 116 looks like he's trying to escape, but there's going to be a lot of tanks there. So he's just trying to get out with his life.
Complete flip of the map.
We just saw the defenders take the offensive start point and the attackers take the defensive start point here.
Yep.
However, we do
Mac's
have...
tough. He's in a bad spot.
I don't know that he is, because as soon as they put... once they recognize that there's only one... Oh, Mac. I thought you said Mac. Mac is in a really tough spot. He's
in a very...
He's destined to be destroyed here at this point, and
he's going to go down right here.
yeah, he's going to have a lot of tanks just take him down. He gets tracked, and he's one hit now.
I don't even think he's going to get damage up.
Hui are just
He goes
swarming on Mac, and no damage out from him. And GooglyBoppers now are just taking a full circle around the map. They just took a tour of steps here.
Looks like they're heading back for 2-cap.
It does look like the 54s of Hui here are moving towards the 2-cap. However, it doesn't look like they're committed to taking that side, which is an interesting choice here because you just cleared that area. You have to kind of... They're aware of the fact that Googly is not there. So I'm not sure about this taking the 7-line side.
Shots going into...
And now that Felipe has taken some damage, they have recognized the fact that this is happening. But you have to remember, they've taken one full tank here from them. This is a gun that's completely out of the fight. They have a 54 that's completely out of the fight at this point. It's a 5-on-3 right now over here, or 5-on-4.
Tesla's taking some hits.
Tesla's taking a couple hits, and they instantly even up that 700 hit point gap that they had before with the tank damage that they had before onto Felipe. Felipe starts to back down here. He's starting to worry about some flank shots, while his main force of tanks are starting to engage here on these 54s that are completely jumbled up. They're just in a pile. It is a pile of tanks, which is good for sharing hit points here. It makes it tough to find the shots that you're looking for. And it looks like GooglyBoppers. It looks like GooglyBoppers is doing a really good job. Oh, zombie food goes down though. Zion is looking like he's about to go down here. Vial is looking low. Candyman is looking low. Akrita is one hit here. It's just a lot of tanks that are going down. This is looking really good for Hui here.
4-on-3.
Tesla is one hit here. Tugzilla is still almost full HP, but with the 4 or 5 tanks that are going to be coming into him here, I don't know that he's going to have much luck here. Felipe is going to go down.
Felipe goes down.
And there are 2 tanks alive right now, fairly even hit points with the exception for luck. And GooglyBoppers did an excellent job. GooglyBoppers did an excellent job of evening out that fight after losing 1 tank early. It was just unfortunate that one tank got caught out.
Yep. He needed to get out of there quicker.
He did.
Go down.
How do you survive there? Maybe if he had run up into that sniper spot where it's kind of tough to get up into. It's tough to have 4 or 5 people get into that spot. The possibility of going up into that area and only really having 2, 3, 4 tanks shooting at him, and he's able to zone from half of them, I think that's a really good play if he were to do that. It kind of says, all right, I'm going to die here, but I'm going to take my... whatchamacallit here. I'm going to make you guys take time here. My life is going to be paid for in the amount of time that you take to, for you to take my life, you're going to have to pay a minute of your time here for capping, or for engaging on us, or for finding us. So, I think that might have been the right play there. 1
That
minute left
37
here
did
on
1,200 damage.
Yeah, and let's I want to take a look at that M44 here. The M44 did do 0 damage. He fired 9 shots with 2 direct hits, which I think
Heat
resulted in tracks to that 32, which I think
that's the bad thing about heat.
Yeah, it makes it's hit or miss with the M44, but I think it still did something. He had an effect on the battle. He definitely kept that 32 in check there. He kind of kept him from getting too aggressive. He wasn't ever really able to just sit in a hull down area, and that leaves the score now what 4-3 for GooglyBoppers, or is that 3-3 now?
4-3 for Hugh.
For Hugh, I can't math
play.
apparently.
4-3. So it's on the Googly. Googly's got to win this. They took a risk with their defense. Now they've got to.
They absolutely did. They took a risk with their attack there, and it worked out for them. So I'm curious to see if they're going to try to take another attack or move back to their standard here.
Yep, their defense was almost like an attack.
It was.
Mirror matchup.
We do have a mirror matchup here.
They've
They've decided to forego the M44 here on the side of the GooglyBoppers for that 37, and they've actually decided to get rid of that 21 here.
Back to the 37.
It is. Back to a 37 here.
Time to roll out.
Fairly comparable tanks, though, when it comes right down to it. We're going to see an initial movement right off the bat here from GooglyBoppers over towards the 7-8 line, towards the 2 cap here, while a completely different defensive setup here for Hui. Hui is taking the north, while actually this might not be a 2 cap. This is going to be a 5-line split push onto the 2 cap, and this could be dangerous for GooglyBoppers here. It could be really dangerous if they spot this out. Let's keep an eye on these 3 tanks here. I don't know what they've seen and what they haven't seen, but as soon as these 3
they've seen them. Shots going out.
Shots are going out. However, they do have lines of. They've pretty much set up mirror here. They have tanks in those rocks. They both have tanks in those rocks, with the 5-line tanks here for GooglyBoppers being a little bit more aggressive. But it looks like GooglyBoppers just doesn't want to be here. And shots into that 37. Shots into. They're trading shots into 37s here now. Both are now down to 2 hit for a tier 8 tank. While not much else happened from that, aside from a lot of information here. And if you're GooglyBoppers, you have to assume that you're taking the 2 cap, while it seems like they should, on the side of Hui here, make a move over to the south here and start to take away that part of the map here. Maybe I should take a look at some of these tanks here.
We may see a cap.
We may see, I don't know that there's going to be a cap. Those 54s are still able to get back, but if they were to put 3 cap on cap pressure here, it's going to be really tough for those 54s even to get back. They're going to kind of have to send them just in here. I think that once they set up a proper sort of concave here, proper spotting, they're putting 3 on cap here, and Hui are going to have to do something about this. Hui is being a little bit proactive here, grabbing the other side of rails and crossing back into the depressions here on the 7-8 line, while we have a 37 coming up into suicide, which is an interesting choice for a 37. No, he's not going into suicide. He's sitting a little bit further back with the intention of maybe spotting that south there. While we have Hui here coming to take this east-west side of the ridge. I mean, the west side of the ridge here. And they got to come in and get a reset right now. It's at 96%. No resets come in right at the last second, and now GooglyBoppers are gonna be in a pretty tough spot, I think. We have a lot of one-hit tanks coming in here, and they are not set up for this. They had 4 tanks on cap, and it seems like the tanks they're trading pretty evenly here. We have Zion at 1 hit, and Tuxzilla at 1 hit as well as a couple of middle hit point tanks here, and these low hit point tanks have to come out. The Viral bounces a shot off of Felipe there, big bounce from him, and a penetrate from Viral. That 37 is tracked Felipe out now, and if he's an autoloader, he could kill him right now. He can get this kill right now if he has a shot. He bounces. that could have been a kill there for the 37 on Felipe, which is a lot of damage coming in. Candyman is 1 hit point. 1 hit point, and there's only 1 full hit point left. Oh, not even anymore. 975 hit points. They trade out the low one hitters, and now we have 3 tanks here, or 2 tanks here coming into Luck, and that's gonna give it to Matt Knight. To Matt Knight. Well, Matt Knight might get the kill, but
a bounce.
that's gonna give it here to Hui, and there it is.
Goes. There it is.
Definitely a close-fought battle there, and that.
Very.
What's that score now? What's the score line there? I wish I could remember.
That's it.
That's it. That's the
4-3.
game over, right?
That's it. Victory for us. 4-3.
So that's gonna do
Very
it.
Close.
Isn't it supposed to be first to 5? That must have been 5-3.
That would have been, 3-5, 5-3. You're right.
Yeah, that's 5-3 there for Hui. Taking a win in a pretty convincing fashion here to GooglyBoppers. However,
when they needed it.
yeah, GooglyBoppers was an exclamation point away from taking that map. It was all they needed. And then it was a 4-4, wasn't that? That would have been 4-4. That would have been overtime right there. Our prediction almost came true with that there.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out whoever got that reset there, because I think that might have to be the MVP.
It was Zion, Acretia, or the 37. They all had.
I don't think it was Zion who had the
He had
most
41.
reset. Was that Zion or
Zion.
37?
Yep. 37 had 33.
So the
Zion had
37
41.
had the most most cap points there? No, he didn't. That wasn't him.
Zion did. 41.
All right. I think I name personally for me, Zion is my MVP. He kind of just came in and took charge of that there, got a reset right when his team needed it. Overall, a well-fought match between both teams. I think it was an enjoyable watch here for me, and I would love to see more of these two teams play. It was exciting brawls happening all game. And let's see what those TeamSpeak pings are. Maybe they want to come in and say some things. And yeah, that's going to do it. As always, thanks for tuning in. This is Spanish, team leader of Team Rival, Professional World of Tanks team in the WGLNA. And we'll be playing tomorrow against Roulette, I believe at 11 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to swing by and check that out. Got a whole bunch of awesome content coming to you guys tomorrow. And hopefully we'll be doing some more of this in the future here. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream, and thanks for tuning in.
More.
And that's Rev, by the way.
Yes.
He's also a part of Team Rival, Professional World of Tanks team. And have a great evening.